Best scary ghost stories that will scare your socks off. Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Best scary ghost stories that will scare your socks off. So make sure to watch the full video. Unnerving phantom stories aren't for weak-willed. Yet, for the individuals who are about the Halloween films and everything witches or vampires, we have spine-chilling stories for you from around the country. One may very well happen close where you reside, amping up the dreadful variable, and on the off chance that not, you may very well have to design an outing to one of these creepy phantom towns. On the East Coast, there have been reports, by John Lennon, of the Crying Woman in the Dakota, a well-known apartment complex in New York City. Down in the South, Hug and Molly torture Abel, Alabama, and seeks after, and embraces, people around the town. Over in Aha Springs, Arkansas, the Bow Inn is supposedly spooky by various phantoms, and down in St. Francisville, Louisiana, a phantom named Chloe can purportedly be located in the Myrtles Manor. So look on to begin perusing these frightening phantom stories, relax, they're short, or save them for into the evening for a really unnerving encounter. They make certain to get you into the Halloween soul and give you a lot of thoughts for stories to tell to add trepidation element to your companions as well. Number 1. Sloss Heaters, Birmingham, Alabama. 5 years after the cross-country struggle, Birmingham, Alabama, was laid out. With its introduction to the world in 1871 came the requirement for lots of pig iron to fix the U.S.'s disintegrating foundation, so Colonel James Wilt Sloss started to assemble Sloss Heaters. After a year, the organization made its ways for many representatives, as per its true site. Occupations on impact heaters were progressed, yet in addition perilous, and numerous laborers began tumbling to their demises in the heaters. By the mid-1900s, conditions had deteriorated with a savage foreman, James Slag Wormwood, who faced risky challenges to increment creation, as per Peruser's overview. During his residency at Sloss, almost 50 representatives passed on location, and numerous others were engaged with awful mishaps. Purportedly, his laborers tossed him into the heater encounter in 1906. Today you can in any case walk the grounds of Sloss Heaters, if you really feel compelled to. You might try and hear Slag's voice hollering, "Return to work," and witness other paranormal encounters. Number 2. The Crying Woman in the Dakota, New York, New York. Since its opening in 1884, the Dakota High Rise has been home to numerous rich and well-known occupants of New York City. John was likewise killed external the structure in 1980. Prior to that critical day on December 8, however, John said he saw a crying woman phantom strolling the lobbies, and a while later Yoko, who actually dwells there, dependable, she saw John's ghost sitting at his piano and that he imparted to her, "Don't be fearful. I'm still with you." Number 3. The Chime Witch, Adams, Tennessee. On the off chance that you're a startling film sweetheart, you could really realize about the Ringer Witch. The movies An American Tormenting and The Blair Witch Task are both in light of the story. Way back in the mid-1800s, a man named John Ringer moved his family to an area in Tennessee called Red Waterway, which is currently known as Adams, Tennessee. After they had gotten comfortable the new home, a few exceptional things began occurring. The Ringer family started hearing a few odd commotions, including canines yelping, chains shaking, rodents biting, and a lady murmuring. Bats and the Chimes had a disagreement regarding area, and she had sworn retribution on the Ringer family before she passed on. Later on, Ringer passed on from harming, and it's supposed to be crafted by the Chime Witch. Number 4. The Phantoms of the Bow Lodging, Aha Springs, Arkansas. Go through the night in the spooky Sickle Inn in Aha Springs, Arkansas, which opened in 1886. During development, a specialist named Michael was killed, and his phantom purportedly still torment room 218. The inn went under the responsibility for clinical misrepresentation Norman Cook in 1937, who liked himself a specialist. He transformed the lodging into the pastry specialist Malignant Growth Medical Clinic, professing to have the solution for the illness. He didn't, clearly. Patients who passed on under his thought were canvassed soundly in the motel's tornado shelter, which filled in as a makeshift morgue. He was caught in 1940, but his patients' spirits are expressed to anyway remain. Since the lodging is as yet open, visitors frequently say they see phantoms and hear clamors during their visits. Sci-Fi's Phantom Trackers even has film of something moving in the cellar. 5. Hug and Molly, Abel, Alabama. It's ideal to remain at home when the sun sets in Abel, Alabama, to keep away from Hug and Molly's cold hug. As the legend goes, starting in the mid-1900s, a curiously large figure clad in all dark started meandering the roads around evening time searching for clueless casualties. When she focuses on somebody, she embraces the individual and shouts uproariously into their ears. Many individuals have told accounts of being pursued by what they accept was Hug and Molly. Neighborhood guardians enjoy even taken benefit of the story to keep their youngsters in line. The town embraces its evening superintendent, gladly considering itself the home of Hug and Molly. There's even a family accommodating cafe named after her. 6. The Sorency House Phantom, Sorency, Georgia. The Sorency group started encountering paranormal exercises in present-day Sorency, Georgia, during the 1870s. Relatives announced seeing items taking off across rooms, hearing chuckling and crying, and seeing red eyes gazing into the house. Food was tossed from their plates and utensils bent into unusable shapes. The residents guessed that these events were sobs for help from spirits who figured the family would have the option to save them. On the day the family chose to at long last take off from the house, a fire iron purportedly drifted up and began hitting one of the children on the head. Nobody was at any point bold enough to reside in the house once more, and the structure disintegrated in 1925. 7. The Phantom of Bellamy Scaffold, Marianna, Florida. For a sample of genuine tormenting love, travel over this creepy scaffold in Marianna, Florida, which has a few phantom legends encompassing the design. During the 1830s, Elizabeth Jane Croom Bellamy married close by government official Dr. Samuel C. Bellamy. On their wedding night, her dress unintentionally burst into flames, which shrouded the youthful lady of the hour in terrible consumes. She at first made do, yet entirely in the long run died. Elizabeth was covered along the banks of the Chipola waterway, and it was said that her adoration for her better half was areas of strength for so, couldn't rest. The departed love bird, wearing white, can supposedly be seen meandering the banks from the vantage point of the extension, which was worked after she kicked the bucket. It's said that she shows up ablaze either strolling through the bogs or plunging straight into the waterway, as though to soak the flares, or gravely strolling at the edge of the stream. 8. The Apparition of Deer Island, Biloxi, Mississippi. Back on May 20, 1922, Anthony Raguzan, also called Mr. Tony, transferred this story in a section in the Sun Messenger. He creates that during the 1800s, two fishermen went during that time on Deer Island off Biloxi's coast. They heard commotions that they overlooked until it became difficult to do as such. At the point when they went to see what was creating the uproar, they guaranteed they found a headless skeleton that pursued the pair. They quickly rushed toward their boat and got off the island right away. It's said that the hard edge has a place with his privateer head cleaved off by his chief, and his body was abandoned as a frightful gatekeeper to look after covered treasure. 9. Zombie Street, Wildwood, Missouri. Beyond St. Louis lies Zombie Road, a hotbed of creepy activities. There are numerous startling stories coming from Lawler Passage Street, its real name, from sightings of native spirits meandering the stretch to survivors of train mishaps. During the 1950s, it turned into a famous late-night high schooler home base, with different homicides occurring nearby, as well. Nowadays, the stretch has been rechristened as a nature trail, however it's shut once sunsets, with robust fines for the individuals who set out to intrude. 10. Dead Ladies Intersection, Weatherford, Oklahoma. This one's an ordinary homicide secret turned phantom story, as indicated by Chart Book Obscura. In the mid-1900s in Weatherford, Oklahoma, Katie DeWitt James left her home with her child after she sought legal separation from her better half. After an examination, it worked out that she moved in with nearby whore Franny Norton. She was most recently seen going out with Franny and her youngster in a carriage. Franny got back with the youngster, who was canvassed in blood, yet without Katie. Her body was tracked down later, along a close-by stream, with her head cut off. It was supposed that her ex had her killed with Franny's assistance, yet Franny asserted she wasn't associated with Katie's demise. In any case, on the day she should be addressed by the police, she harmed herself. However, Katie's still near. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.